Welcome everybody to a recap of Fun with the Facklers in the last 3 years. Well, the final sale of our house was September of 2018. We walked out the doors and into our new home. It is a 30-foot Montana fifth wheel and is being pulled by an F-250 Super Duty pickup. While on the trail, we became Lolly and Pop. We've driven over 60,000 miles and visited 44 states. Spent over 120 nights in a tent and actually have hiked over 2,000 miles. Well, like always, I've gotten ahead of myself. Our real adventure started in the state of Washington, Oregon, California, and finally into Arizona. By the time of the holidays, we had made it to Arizona, spent the holidays in Crystal Hill, and mined for quartz. We spent the month of January 2019 in places like Wyandotte, Arizona, and Ajo, Arizona. By February, we headed to Texas to meet up with an old friend of mine from the Air Force. Well, Sidney actually works for American Airlines, but in his spare time, what does he do? He builds his own airplane. And of course, we had to go for a ride. And the aviation equipment, I think, was better than I had in the B-52. Well, we weighed everything we wanted to take on a trip. My pack weighed 33 pounds, and 0.5 ounces of that was my toothbrush. I quickly blended into the environment and made sure that our water bottles didn't freeze all the time. Food became a big part of the trip, so every time we were in a town or a little store, we had great dinners with friends. And of course you have to drink the local beers, Purple Haze, Gaelic Ale, Dirty Girl, and there are some local ones, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale also. And of course we couldn't spend every night in our tent or some leaky shelter. Every once in a while we'd have to go to a hostel, sort of like the Top of Georgia Hiking Center. There was Standing Bear and of course Woods Holes in Virginia. And most hostels fed you great breakfast. Well, after 500 miles of hiking, we made it to Virginia, the Graceland Highlands, and the Wild Ponies. By this time, spring had arrived, and every day brought new and very interesting wildflowers. And not only wildflowers, there is every different type of mushrooms and fungus. Good thing I had an app to tell me what they all were. And yes, it did rain every once in a while, but most of the time the weather was great and we continued to hike north. New York and New Jersey were a real surprise to us. We got to meet Jake the Donkey, and we actually got to go to a drive-in movie theater in Warwick.
She's doing it the right way. Always having 3 points of contact. Sticks are a pain in the, you know what? Ooh, I don't know.
About every 4 days, we are ready for a real hotel and a shower. So this time it was Bear Mountain Motel in New York. Well, by August, we had made it to New England and couldn't wait to get to the White Mountains in a little cooler weather. The first week of September, we remained in Mount Katahdin and ended the hike on September 9th on the top of Mount Katahdin. Well, it's time to head south, and on the way we stopped at Gettysburg, Harper's Ferry, Antietam, and then of course the North Carolina Battleship. As we continued south, we went to Fort Sumter, Fort Pickens, and some free camping in the state of Florida. Not all adventures are above ground. We've been to 6 different caverns, and of course Carlsbad was the highlight when we took the underground tour with our helmets and lights.
En route.
And of course you have to go to Roswell and look for the little green men. Well, of course, the spring of last year brings COVID, so we had to make sure we got our mask, but that didn't stop us from volunteering. When the snow started to fly in Spokane, Washington, we headed south, became a tourist again, and went to a Titan Missile Museum. We spent the winter at Buckskin Mountain State Park, which is just a little bit south of Lake Havasu. We volunteered 20 hours a week at Buckskin, but we had time to go to Oatman, Arizona, the SARS hiking trails, and Alamo Lake. Well, people ask us all the time, where do you spend the nights when you're on the road? Well, there's an organization called Harvest Host that we are members. We like to stay at those places. Most of the Harvest Host locations we have stayed at have been wineries and distilleries. But how many of you have stayed in the middle of a pecan orchard in Arkansas? Or a settler village in the state of Florida? And if you're ever in Ohio, make sure you go to the Hocking Hills area, take in Ash Cave and Cedar Falls. Well, in Ohio, you have to spend at least 1 day in Dayton at the Air Force Museum. We actually spent 2 days there. Well, on the way back to Washington State for camp host duty, we went to Mount Rushmore and Little Bighorn Battlefield. Camp host duty started on the West Coast, and currently we're at the Bull and Pitcher in Spokane, Washington. Fall is almost among us, and the sun is setting on our summer adventures, so stay tuned. And feel free to check out our other videos on YouTube with Fun with the Facklers. Have a good day.